must start early in a gymnast's career so that they can become Olympic reality. The stars of tomorrow are already courting the fans of the future. But first, they must master the power, style, and grace of the greats to become the champions they hope they can be today. From George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, the 1989 McDonald's American Cup Gymnastic Championships. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Ryan here at the Patriot Center, joined by our Olympic gymnasts, Kathy Johnson and Bart Connor. And, Kathy, this is the first major competition since the Seoul Olympic Games.
Yes, it is, Tim. And fortunately for the United States team, they have 3 returning gymnasts from that Seoul Olympic team. Most notably, Phoebe Mills, who won a bronze medal on the balance beam at the Olympic Games, and also is the defending American Cup champion. She looks good to defend their title, but she's going to have tough competition from Brandy Johnson and also a couple other hot shots from other countries. She's got her work cut out for her.
Well, Bart Connor, it would appear that this is a rebuilding year for the U.S. men's team.
Well, and many of the guys on the U.S. team are in a reconditioning program. They're working more strength. They're trying to get in better shape and do the bigger tricks to compete with the top programs. They were 11th in Seoul, and that was a very disappointing finish. It'll be interesting to see how guys like Charles Lakes and Patrick Kirksey and Kevin Davis develop over the next few years. But one of the leaders and one of the key figures for the U.S. program is Lance Ringnauld. He's only 18 years old. He's strong, he's quick, he's explosive, and he's not afraid of the big tricks. I think he'll be a key figure for the U.S. program for the next few years.
Ringnauld currently tied for 3rd after 3 rotations, and the new Soviet, Vitaly Marinich, currently in the lead.
And, of course, the Soviets were so strong, totally dominating the competition at the Seoul Olympics. Well, this is the next generation of Soviet gymnasts, and you can see they just keep coming with more talent and incredible athletes. Marinich is only 18 years old. He's been in the sport for 12 years, and you can see why he was 2nd in the all-around in the Junior European Championships last year. He has perfect form, great leg extension, excellent technique.
While the women have completed 1 rotation, Phoebe Mills is in 1st place. Brandy Johnson tied for 2nd with Stella Ume of Canada. And let's look back at Phoebe's vault, Kathy.
With some really strong vaulters in this field, it was tough to come out on top. But Phoebe did just that with a round-off, full twisting Yurchenko. It was a beautiful vault.
So there are 3 rotations remaining in the women's competition. Next will be the uneven bars. And we're going to see Henrietta Onodi of Hungary. Just 14 years of age. She appeared at the American Cup a year ago and became a very big favorite.
And she's as tiny as she was last year, which really works to her advantage here. She swings so easily. And watch the difficulty in this routine. Free hip circle, full twist over the bar. And now a little hop full twist. It's a nice combination. A Ginger, which could have been higher up above the bar. His release move should be over the bar. And a Jaeger, again, a little bit low. But it's important she's doing 2 big release moves in the same routine. Handstand reverse pirouette, front giant, very difficult. Right into a back giant with a full twist and a tuck double flyaway. Excellent routine. Just some nice combinations in this routine. Watch this, a front giant, pirouette. Now she does a back giant with a full pirouette over the bar. And right into her dismount.
For Henrietta Onodi, a 9.812 and a total of 19.687. Returning to the men's competition, 3 rotations remain. Next up, the vault. Lance Ringnauld of the United States, the 18-year-old member of the U.S. Olympic team and certainly one of the great hopes of the future, tied for 3rd.
Lance needs a strong vault here. He was weak in pommel horse earlier. Beautifully done. That was a Katsumatsu in the laid-out position. Good distance. In fact, one of the best ones I've seen Lance perform.
Coached by Ed Birch, and that is here with him today.
Lance had a tendency in the past to be in too close to the horse and a little out of line. He gets tremendous distance here, a good push off the horse, excellent position in the air as always, and just a short hop on the landing. That'll score well.
Lance Ringnauld, and he scores a 9.6 for a total of 38.2. Next up in the women's competition, our leader and defending champion, Phoebe Mills on uneven bars.
insist on the overshoot and coming out from that. Work real hard.
Hi, I'd like 2,000 of these Honey, I Shrunk the Kids cups. See, I'm on the cup because I'm in the movie. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's great.
Girls American Cup Gymnastics competition. The leader in the women's event after the first rotation is Phoebe Mills, and a new look Phoebe Mills, Kathy.
She's grown an inch and gained 5 pounds since the Olympics, so it's an adjustment period for her. It's going to show it'll be on this event. Reverse hecht, nice and high over the bar. Now she sets up for another one, catches in mixed grip. She's moving quite well, not quite as quickly as she used to move, but she's really adjusting well. Giant swing with a full pirouette and a tuck double flyaway. Little slow on the rotation, which caused that step on the landing. Pretty solid routine for her.
We'll finish late, that's the period.
Coach Bella Caroli offering his usual encouragement.
Now this is her second release move. It's a reverse hecht. She catches in mixed grip, does a half turn and drops to the low bar. Now her extra size has not affected the major elements in her routine. But watch here, after the long hang kip and cast up to a handstand, her legs separate and just a little struggle to get up to the handstand. Nice full pirouette over the bar. Little short on this swing and slow on the rotation, though, for that dismount.
Phoebe Mills' score on the uneven bars, 9.787, a total of 19.712. She had a slender lead over Brandy Johnson after the first rotation, the vault. And Brandy Johnson will be up next on the bars. But first in the men's competition, looking again at Vitaly Marinic.
Typical of the Soviet gymnast, they find the perfect body style. You notice he's 5'4" and 117 pounds. That's about the average size and weight of a world-class gymnast. Tremendous vault, a handspring front layout with a half. A little short on the landing, but beautiful form in the air. Once again, the Soviets always push the maximum level of difficulty in every event. Notice the technique here. Perfect form on the pre-flight. When his hands hit, legs straight, heels together, just a little short, and barely out of line.
So the barefooted Soviet scores a 9.6 on the vault, a total of 38.7. Brandy Johnson now on the uneven bars. Brandy needs a 9.813 to take the lead. She's back with her coach Kevin Brown in Florida, having left him to join Bella Caroli in Houston, but recently returned to Brown.
The Olympics was really a great experience for Brandy. She's been up ever since. Watch that nice high reverse hecht way up above the bar. Counter swing, front between the bars. She's so aggressive now. This is one of the areas where she has really improved. Giant swing, full pirouette, a little stutter step up there, and a tuck double flyaway. Excellent routine.
Oh, okay.
Well, watch this reverse hecht. This is what the judges are looking for. Look at the height above the bar. Way up there. Now she does a counter swing and right into a front flip between the bars. And again, nice height. In a short time back, she and her coach, Kevin Brown, have really accomplished a lot.
So Brandy Johnson with a 9.9 on the uneven bars, moving her into the lead. Meanwhile, on the men's side, Makoto Aihara of Japan, currently standing in second place after 3 rotations, ready for the vault.
Aihara is a very explosive tumbler and vaulter. Let's see what he's going to use today for his vault. Nice, laid out Sukahara with a full with tremendous distance from the horse. Great form, good clean line in the air. You'll notice he does a round off on and then a laid out back flip with a full off. Beautiful form and tremendous distance. Nice landing.
Aihara of Japan, a 9.5.
Which is low, I think, compared to the other scores we've seen.
And so that leaves Vitaly Marinic of the Soviet Union in first place after 4 rotations. Lance Ringdahl of the U.S. tied for second. Kirksey of the U.S. tied for fourth. American Brandy Johnson leads the women's event after 2 rotations. And Phoebe Mills right behind her, followed by Henrietta Onodi of Hungary.
This is CBS.
For Phoebe Mills, the '88 Olympic bronze medalist on this event, the balance beam.
Which was a tremendous feat. It's difficult enough to make finals, but to win a medal with the Soviets and Romanians and everyone there was great. She's just superb on this event. Always near perfect in execution. Now this is the toughest part of her routine. That handspring is a 2 layout, a little bit off to the side. I have not seen Phoebe miss beam, and I can't tell you when. She's usually so solid here. Notice the close attention to detail, every toe point, hand position. And a gainer layout down to 1 knee. And a nice original move. As you can see, she's usually so solid on this event. Preparing for the dismount. Round off. Double touch. Perfect landing. She came back. She nailed everything else in the routine. Just that one problem area.
Well, Kathy, what happened here?
Well, she was straight on the first back handspring, but she was a little slow on the rotation in the first somersault. Her chest was too low there and had to work too hard to get into that second somersault. Therefore, she's off to the right. Oh, such a disappointment for her.
So for Phoebe Mills, a 9.387 on the beam.
Yeah, I'll put another good one. The next one, maybe after that. Okay?
Vitaly Marinic, still the men's leader after 4 rotations. He's up on the parallel bars.
One of the new trends in parallel bars is more and more underbar work, as you notice there. Glide, reverse straddle, peach half to a handstand, and a giant swing. All of those underbar elements, something that the judges are encouraging the gymnasts to do more of. There's a giant to a reverse stutz. Original skill. He just seems to work so effortlessly. Perfect form. He never seems to be anxious. Very smooth rhythm. Oh, and a perfect double back. Nothing to it.
A very stoic presentation on the part of Marinic, but at a very high level of excellence.
And what perfect form on this giant to a reverse stutz. There's the Healy twirl. Every skill is done with good, smooth rhythm. He never rushes. Beautiful lift in the back toss. And he just kicks out of that tuck double back.
Good for a 9.8 for Marinic, and he is still the leader in the men's event. And next up, the women's leader, Brandy Johnson.
Beautiful. Feel it. Okay? Feel that routine. You know how it feels. Okay? All right, baby. Show it off. You're great up there.
Earlier, Leslie Visser talked to the coach about Brandy's return to him.
Kevin, you coached Brandy Johnson. She left you to go to Bella Caroli. Now she's back with you. What was it like to lose her, and what's it like to have her back?
Well, obviously, it's great to have Brandy back. She's probably one of the greatest that the United States is ever going to have. She was gone for a very short time. She's been with me for 4 to 5 years, and she was gone for 4 to 5 months. So that kind of tells the story. It was hard for her to go for that short period of time, but it helped her to place the highest of all Americans at the Olympic Games, and she's back with us now. We're training hard, and we're really looking forward to the competition today.
Well, obviously the duo is working. This is definitely a career on the rise. As I said earlier at the uneven bars, that was one of the areas where she's really improved. This is another one. Nice move, a Diamondov. She's really become more aggressive in competition, which is so crucial to win the big meet. Here's her most difficult pass. 2 back handsprings into a layout step out. Well done. You can see her fight for every single position to not give away a single tenth of a point. She does a punch front here. Beautiful landing. She is just on. The only thing she really needs to work on is sometimes she has a tendency to work with her shoulders up. Just for a prettier line to pull those shoulders down. Everything else is just near perfect. Here's her dismount, round off double back. And a great landing, a beautiful routine for her.
Randy Johnson, what a response from the crowd here at George Mason.
So we're looking at her 2 back handsprings into a layout step out. Now watch, she almost gives it up and is no way. Locks it in there. This is crucial if you're going to win the big meets and if you're going to compete against the Soviets and Romanians. You cannot allow any mistakes. And look at the landing here.
A near perfect performance for Brandy Johnson. She's our leader. And so after 3 rotations, 15-year-old back at George Mason University for the 1989 McDonald's American Cup Gymnastics Championships. And here on the 5th rotation in the men's competition, American Patrick Kirksey, 20 years of age from the University of Nebraska.
And Patrick is a really big guy. He's 5'10" and 165 pounds, as opposed to Marinich from the Soviet Union. We were talking about him being 5'4" and only 117. But for being so big, Patrick is amazingly strong at throwing that big body around. He opens with a beautiful peach straddle cut. There's a back toss. He's a little over there. Second one was better. He needs to top those back tosses right to the handstand if he wants to score the maximum points. There's a good combination, 2 Healy twirls. The fact that he did 2 in a row raises the level of difficulty on that sequence. Patrick has been very consistent all day. All of his scores between 9.45 and 9.6. Tuck double back, a little shorter rotation there.
So the junior from Nebraska, 3rd in the all-arounds at the 88 Winter Nationals, yet to be on an Olympic team. Looking forward now to 92, Bart.
He had a tremendous back toss with great height, but he was over-rotated. The second one was good. He continues through here with a front uprise. This is the Healy twirl, right from the top. Now, what makes this sequence more difficult is he goes right into the next Healy twirl without stopping in between, and he gets more points from the judges. Value raising, they call that.
Well, Kirksey's value on the parallel bar is 9.55, and he was 4th after 4 rotations, so still in the medal hunt. Here's 14-year-old Olyesha Dudnik from the Soviet Union, an 8th grader, the 1988 Soviet junior champion.
Very difficult mount. Round off layout step out onto the balance beam. She does one of the most difficult routines I've ever seen done on the balance beam. Aero cartwheel into 2 layout step outs. Amazing. That is so hard. Now that's a requirement. It's called a dance series or gymnastics series, in which you connect 3 gymnastics elements together without stopping. Watch this round off full twist. Just nailed it. I have watched her do that in workout, in practice. She has not missed that yet. Another requirement here, the full turn right into the handstand. That's a mixed series requirement. There's been a lot of changes in the judging. In fact, most routines come out of a 9-6 unless they get their bonus value. And of course, this routine more than meets her bonus requirement. Really excellent work. Preparing for a dismount. Round off back handspring, triple twist. A little off to the side with a step. But the rest of the routine was just gorgeous. This is her first pass on the balance beam, connecting 3 aerial movements. Aerial cartwheel, layout step out, layout step out. Perfectly straight over the beam. This is a nice combination into the dismount. Round off back handspring. Now watch 3 twists in the air. She finishes the twist, drops it out just a little bit off to the side.
For Dudnik, a score of 9.862, and that will move her up in the women's standings. Meanwhile, next up on the parallel bars in the men's event, American Lance Ringnahl, the youngest member of the '88 Olympic team at Seoul, and he's taking a different approach to what he hopes will be Olympic gold in Barcelona. He turned down a scholarship at the University of Nebraska to continue to train at his home club. And we asked him why.
My impression was that if you're ever going to go to the Olympics, you would do it in a collegiate program. You know, you go to the college, you get peaked out there, but I did it at a club, and I didn't want to change that. So I'm staying where it works for me. My gymnastics is going good for me now, so there's no need to change it. And as far as this year, I'm taking a year off school, but next year I will attend the University of New Mexico.
Well, Tim, you know, until recently, most all of the U.S. gymnasts peaked during their collegiate years, and going from a private gymnastics school to a college program was a big step up in terms of training and facilities and coaching. But Lance has a good thing going down there in Albuquerque, and an excellent coach, Ed Birch. It's working for him. He opens on the end of the parallel bars with a planche, peach straddle cut, a giant on the end. Typical of all of Lance's exercises, he does every trick in the book, packed with difficulty. He has improved a great deal on the parallel bars. Nice back toss, Diamidov. Good smooth swing, nice elevation on those stutzes. And a very clean pike double back dismount.
Fine performance by Lance Ringnahl. And the audience at George Mason University really appreciated that effort.
Lance had a tendency before to do every trick in the book, but kind of rushed through them. You can see here he's taking his time with good swing, good clean form, good line in the Stutz handstands. And this is a great part of the exercise, a pike double back with perfect form, and he nails that landing.
Ringnahl was tied for second after 4 rotations and a 9.8 here on the parallel bars. So the standings now after 5, still the Soviet. Marinich, the leader, but Ringnahl in second place and Patrick Kirksey, his teammate, in third. On the women's side, American Brandy Johnson leads after 3 rotations, 1 more to go. And you can see the young Soviet Olesya Dudnik has moved into second place with the captivating Henrietta Onodi third.
Somewhere there's got to be a cure for athletes' foot.
The goal in the women's event, standing in first place after 3 rotations. Here she is on the floor exercise.
Brandy has really become a more all-around gymnast, but her strengths are still tumbling and vaulting. She has such power in her legs. First tumbling pass is a full twisting double back, a little over rotation, but hardly a deduction at all. This is a new routine for her, and it's working quite well for her. Great choice of music for it. Gets the audience behind it. 2 whip overs to a tuck double back, a little short this time, but again, hardly a deduction. This is a fun routine. Good dance for the audience to get into. Final tumbling run is a high tuck double back and a perfect landing. Excellent performance.
Brandy Johnson, probably a gold medal winning performance.
This is really going to be a boost for her career. I think we're seeing the beginning of a new reign. It's just amazing to see the height she gets off the floor. Look at the lift, arms right up over her head. In good form, right through to the landing.
Brandy Johnson, 9.912, and that will make her the 1989 American Cup champion.
This is one of my favorite tumbling passes. These are bounders or whip-overs through to a tuck double back. Well, she opened up a little bit too soon on this and landed a little short, but recovered well.
And one more look at her final tumbling pass.
Brandy is even capable of doing more than we've seen her do here. She was 10th at the Olympic Games in Seoul. She's better now. She's going to be tough to beat.
Well, Leslie Visser is with our new champion and her coach, Kevin Brown.
Brandy, last year you didn't make the finals. This year you have an insurmountable lead. What did you hope to accomplish here?
Just to hit all my routines and just be really confident with them.
Where did you feel like you had it under control here?
I didn't really feel anything until the last event because I wasn't watching the other gymnasts, so I wasn't sure how much ahead or behind I was.
Kevin, a lot of gymnasts seem to tail off a little bit after the Olympics, but Brandy's confidence seems to have improved.
Well, Brandy just came right off the Olympic Games and didn't really need any downtime at all as far as she was concerned. Got right back into the gym, and we've been training hard since December. This was her goal, to win this. We came here. She did it, and I'm very proud of her.
Well, congratulations to you both. Back to you, Tim.
All right, Leslie, Lance Ringnahl ready to go here for second place in the men's competition. He needs a 9.750 on his final event, the horizontal bar.
Now, Lance has always been very exciting on the high bar, but in contrast to Marinich, we saw two brand new moves from Marinich. We've seen Lance's routine before, but what makes it so excellent is the fact that he has really interesting combinations of skills. Right here's two release moves in a row. Reverse heck with his legs together, right to a ginger. Beautifully done. That's a new combination for Lance, doing the reverse heck with his legs together. More difficult that way. Jam to eagle giant swings. Good hop, full pirouette. Do another pirouette. Here comes the dismount. A double twisting double. Wow.
Lance Ringnahl winning a lot of hearts here at George Mason University.
This is a great angle to see this combination. The reverse heck with his legs together, right to a ginger, which is a backflip with a half twist, and a perfect position to regrasp. He continued through the exercise, and he does a laid-out double twisting double or a dismount. Great form, perfectly straight body, and he cranks two twists and spots the landing easily.
Well, that performance should give him second place here without much doubt at all. 9.8 for Lance Ringnahl, a total of 57.8 in second place behind the Soviet, Marinich. And this young Soviet, Olesya Dudnik, can clinch second place in the women's competition. Her final event here on the floor.
Olesya is very versatile on this event. She does three very different tumbling passes. She opens with a piked full in, does it very nicely. Now, the one thing I've noticed, she's not as strong in the dance area as most of the Soviets are. Now, she does a nice combination for her middle run. A round off 1.5 twist step out, through to a double twist, and punch front. Good combination. A nice change in the music. Anytime you can get the audience behind you is a great help. Now she ends with a very difficult tumbling pass. It's a triple twist. Very hard to end a routine with this move. Finishes the twist a little bit short and off to the side, but that's really her only significant deduction. This is her middle tumbling run, the combination run, 1.5 twist step out, through to a double twist, and kind of the new thing to do is a punch front, and many people tumble right out of that as well.
A 9.875 for Dudnik, and that will give her second place here at the McDonald's American Cup. And so the American Cup women's champion Brandy Johnson of the United States, defending champion Phoebe Mills, finished 4th. In the men's competition, it was the Soviet Vitaly Marinich, the winner, with Lance Ringnahl and Patrick Kurtzy of the U.S. finishing 2nd and 3rd. And so our thanks to Kathy Johnson and Bart Connor for their coverage of the McDonald's American Cup, and our salute to the champions.